Hi guys and welcome to today's video. Today is going to be testing out some drugstore makeup and kind of giving my first impressions of it. I'm currently wearing it all on my face, so this is the final look. So yeah, if you want to see what products these are on my face, keep watching. There is not a product that I was like, ugh, you know, go die in hell. Apart from one product was a bit like, but most of them were really good. So yeah, I was really impressed by all of these. I've got brands like MUA, Makeup Revolution, what else? Got Soap and Glory, some Gosh, some Maybelline, just some really affordable products that I'm actually really surprised by. So yeah, if you want to know how to either get this look or what products are currently on my face, please carry on watching. So the first product I'm going to go into is the Benefit the Porefessional Primer. So I just fell at the first hurdle, which is great. Benefit definitely is not a drugstore, so I do apologise. Yeah, let's just pretend this didn't happen. Okay, back to the video. And you're probably thinking, Megan, you've already used this, you have it, and I have tried it and I have got it. However, this one is 44ml, which is double the size of it, like the original one. So I just thought this was really cool and I thought I'd just show it to you. I got this in duty free and I just saw it and I was like, look at the size of this big puppy. So I thought I'd buy it, and because it's new to me, as in I've only just bought it, I thought I'd try it today, and I have no other primers that I've bought. I'm just going to take like a pea-sized amount and then just start by my nose and just kind of push and sweep it out. For concealer, I've got this MUA Pro Base Cover and Conceal Kit. It looks really good sort of shading. This is in the shade Ivory, or like the palette Ivory. I didn't actually see much variation in shades. There was only like another one there and it's very orangey. So if you are a darker skin tone, I don't know how that will perform just because it was very orangey, and yeah, don't know how wearable that will be. But we've got a good selection of shades here. Got a tiny little mirror. I don't know how helpful that will be, but I think I'm going to go into like this yellowy based sort of colour and then just kind of do the whole under the eye thing. And I'm going to go in with the Zoeva Concealer Buffer 142 brush. I've got to say one thing about this, although it's nice and creamy and it's going on really nicely, as you can see there's some good coverage, it's quite like opaque, as in you put it on and then the pigment kind of just goes away a little bit. So I think I'm going to have to build this on a little bit more than I like intended. So I don't know how I feel about that too much. So as you can see, there's some good coverage here. Like you can see like my redness and my dark circles still here. I'm going to take this shade right here, so I don't want it to be brightened, and I'm just going to go around like my nose where the hormonal parts are. It's got some good coverage, but it's a little bit slippy. So it's, I don't know if you can actually tell, but it's leaving my face very streaky. If I just zoom in, it's not the worst concealer I've tried for a cream concealer, but you can see it's leaving it very streaky. So for foundation, I've picked up something that I have been wanting to try for a long time, and I feel like this brand kind of gets overlooked quite a lot, and this is Gosh. This sells in Superdrug. It has, my god, for at least 10 years, because I remember thinking this was like the MAC of Superdrug, and now I'm not even looking at it. So I thought I'd pick up these like foundation drops. I've got mine in the shade 2. It's got an SPF of 10. It's hydrating and soothing, which kind of shouted out to me because I've got dry skin. And it just says natural finish and a lightweight feeling and buildable coverage. And yeah, like I said, I'm in the shade 2 Ivory. So I'm going to shake this up and take the packaging off. That'd be helpful. I've never had this sort of dropper style foundation, so I think I'm just going to put a few drops on the back of my hand. It's so liquidy, it's so liquidy. So I've just put this much on the back of my hand, and I'm just going to take this e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush, and we're going to see how it goes on. It's got quite like good coverage actually for like a thin water-like foundation. That's not too bad. I've got to say, the smell of it, no word of a lie, smells like McDonald's beef burgers, and I'm not too sure how I feel about that. Don't get me wrong, I love a good McDonald's. I have a bit of a soft spot for a McDonald's burger, but I don't know if I want my foundation to smell like a beef patty. Yeah, I'm not sure. I feel like I got a good colour match. It's got some good coverage, but I wouldn't say it's full coverage or anything. It doesn't claim to be though, in all fairness. But yeah, I think if you like added this into a foundation, I'm just going to try and put a little bit over just directly onto my skin, see how that works out. I feel like it's a little bit streaky as I'm buffing it, so I'm just going to try and pat it in and then go over it with a beauty sponge and see what happens. So what would I say about this foundation? It's okay. I'm not sure thing is I'm not sure if it's the concealer playing up or the foundation, so it's a little bit hard to judge. I'd say it's got a satin finish, like you can just see sort of a bit of luminosity as I turn my head, but then as I'm looking in my mirror, it's very matte-ish, like mattified looking. So I'd say it's a satin finish. I also picked up from Gosh this Foundation Plus Cover and Conceal, and this has got seaweed in it, and it's got an SPF 15, and I got it in 2 Ivory again. And I just thought this would be, I don't know, I was a bit intrigued by this, and I want to use it today because I have still got a bit of redness and there's a little bit peeking through, so I want to use this. This one is kind of like in a squeezy tube, like it's, I don't know if you can actually see me squeezing that at all. But yeah, like I said, I just picked this up because I was a bit intrigued, and the way it said Foundation Plus, I thought it would be like more coverage. I'm going to just put a bit on the back of my hand, and oh, it's like a thicker consistency. That is not what I was expecting. So I've just got like a little pea-sized amount here, and I think what I'm going to do is just take that concealer brush that I used earlier and just dot it where I want it, and like where I want it to cover up a bit more. I really like this. Like, on first impressions, this is giving good coverage, it's creamy, it's very hydrating, and it's covering, and I really like that. It feels really lightweight, and it's just, I don't know if you can actually see, but it's just offered me some more coverage, but without being too thick and clumpy. Yeah, I really like this. It's really nice, and in combination, I feel like you'd have some lightweight coverage everywhere, and then you'd be able to just sort of intensify the pigments kind of where you want it to be. So yeah, together they make a nice little duo. So for powder, I've picked up the Revolution Luxury Powder in like the shade Banana, or like Banana Powder. This is like a dupe for the Ben Nye Banana Powder, and this was £5, I believe. But yeah, I don't know if I actually need powder with this look today, but we're going to try it anyway. I've really wanted to try this out for a while, but I've just like never picked it up, and I don't know why. So yeah, it just comes like a little sifter, and I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take my flat top kabuki and just go to town on my face. Let's just press it all in. It's not a very great sifter. It's a bit crappy. It's not letting out enough product for my liking. But yeah, we'll just go back in. It does even the skin tone out quite nicely, and I'd say if you've got very pink or cool undertones, avoid this. Luckily I have got quite yellowish undertones to my skin. As a first impressions, I'm going to say it's okay for £5. You get 42 grams of product, which is actually very good for the price. So I think again I'm going to have to play around with this. On first impressions I'm a bit like but like a 3 out of 5 stars moment for me. It did mattify without making me look too cakey, which I do appreciate. So for brows, I've got the Revolution Brow Pomade with double-ended brush in medium brown. I've never tried a brow pomade ever. I've always gone for brow pencils or like brow gels, or just like shadow. So yeah, I'm very intrigued by this. You do get a little double-sided brush, but I don't think it's going to be strong enough. It is quite flimsy, so yeah, we'll try that out. Yeah, so if I just zoom you in, we're going to just dip into this with the angled bit of the brush and see. Oh, okay, it's quite creamy actually. I'm just going to brush all the hairs up and then go in with this. Oh, that is rich in pigment. That is not what I was expecting whatsoever. I like this. And also it's not waxing my sort of hairs down to my face. Like, you can already see the difference. That is incredible. One thing I like about this as well is it also like blends really nicely. Okay, so brows are on. I'm looking a little bit crazy because I've got no other makeup on, so they are looking very bold. But I really like this. This was so easy to apply. What I like about this is that you can use a little bit and kind of smudge it out though, so you can get a very natural or like very bold brow. So I've obviously gone for the bold brow because I got a bit carried away with the creaminess. I think I'll have to get to grips with the formula a little bit more because I'm not used to a pomade, but I'm very impressed by this. I'm very impressed by the price. The little brush was actually very decent and I didn't think it would be. And yeah, it's really nice. I really like it. It's not making my brows look too waxy, and I really like it. So the next product I'm going to go into is this palette by MUA. It's absolutely bloody stunning. Look at those colours. There's some really beautiful kind of pinky red tones and oranges. It's got a lot of mattes and a lot of shimmers, which is what I like. I don't know if you can see that if I zoom in. You can just see like there's some really nice crease shades, some really nice mattes. and shimmers is not all shimmer, if that makes any sense. Like, I hate when I've got a cheaper palette and it's all shimmers or it's all satins and it just looks a little bit too much on the eye. So I really appreciate that there's half and half mattes and shimmers. And yeah, the layout of this is just really pretty. I think this was only like £4, which is ridiculous price because you get so much shadow. This is called the 15 shade palette in Fire Vixen. It doesn't actually have any names of like the shadows, it just has them numbered, but that's not a problem. Like, when you're paying £4 for a palette, I don't really mind not having names. It's nice, but it's not an essential. For a transition shade, I'm just going to go into this kind of banana-y yellowish shade, and I'm just going to run this over the entire lid with this MAC 224. Just kind of setting any concealer that was there. I have gone over it with the kind of that banana powder, but just like to set myself up with a nice crease. I'm then going to go into this shade right here, and one thing I want to say is they're really creamy. Like, as I'm going in with this brush here, this brush that I use on some softer shadows does kick up a lot. So look, as I go in, there's like not a lot of fallout, but then I'm getting all the pigment on the brush, so I'm really impressed. I'm insanely impressed by the pigment of these as well. Pigment is so great. I'd say these are very comparable to the Colourpop shadows. I did a pressed shadow kind of swatch session, so if you'd like to check that out, I will leave the link for it down below. Yeah, they're very comparable to these sort of pressed shadows, and I love them, so I'm already really impressed. I'm only 2 shades in. On this Zoeva 227 Luxe Soft Definer brush, I'm going to go into this very kind of like burnt orangey brown shade, and again I'm just going to put this in the crease, but I'm going to try and keep it a little bit tidier just so it's a little bit more defined. Again, there's like hardly any kick up. They are so creamy and blendable. I feel like I need to go into this really brave pink shade, so I'm going to go into this with the Bold Metals 203 brush. Again, really pigmented. This is insane. I'm going to kind of just put this on the outer corner just to give more of like a pop of colour, but not too much. I'm just going to put it right here and just kind of smudge it out until the centre of the eye. So I want to put a metallic on the centre of this. Look at that. Yes! I'm going to take this beautiful shade here. It's kind of like this shimmery pinky brown. I'm going to just take this on this Flawless Brushes flat brush. I'm going to just push this on the centre of the lid. Oh girl. Oh yes. MUA, pull through girl, come on. This is so good. I'm trying to flip over this brush and then kind of go into this very like pinky champagne-y sort of colour, and I'm just going to shove this on the sort of inner portion of the eye just here. I just want it to be a bit more of like an ombre-ish sort of glitter look, even though if you don't really notice it too much. Again, just to bring back that colour, I'm just going to go back into the 203 Bold Metals and just kind of intensify the outer corner a little bit more. And then going back into the Zoeva 227, I'm just going to go into this brown shade just above that really nice metallic shade we put across the lid. And again, I'm going to kind of just tap this off and really gently blend that crease in. I'm going to go into this like greyish pearl shade here. I don't know if you can actually see if that's pearlescent or not. It's kind of got a bit of satiny glitter to it, and I'm just going to put this on the, whoa, on the brow bone. And yes, it has made it pop. I'm also going to just take a pointed brush and go into that same pearlescent colour and go in the like the inner corner of my eye, just to make the inner corners pop a little bit too. I'm also going to take that flat brush again. This is just a Morphe M113, and I'm going to go into this very sort of tan pinky rose colour, just like so, and I'm trying to run this on my lower lash line. Okay, so overall I'm going to say I absolutely love this palette. I don't know if it's even picking up as nice as it is on like in person on the camera, but these are so creamy. They've got barely any fallout. Like, you can see how creamy they are because they're going around the palette a little bit. Like, you can just see sort of the smeariness on the black, like here and here. They are so rich and creamy. They're beautiful in pigment. They're really easy to blend. I could go as far to say this could be a dupe for the Urban Decay Heat palette. I'd say it's that sort of a very, that vibe of the orange and red with a pop of brown like within the palette. This is 100% worth picking up if you are into these colours just like I am. I love this. I'm going to go into this Maybelline Lash Sensational Lash Multiplying Mascara in Intense Black. This has been raved about for bloody years. I've seen everyone rave about this, like in real life and on YouTube, so I want to just go straight in. I'm going to zoom you in first because that would be more helpful. It has given me a really nice curl. My lashes are like naturally straight, so trying to find a mascara that keeps a curl is very rare for me. It's a nice mascara. I don't know if I'm going to write home about it. It's just a nice mascara. It's very black. I like it. I'll continue to use it. Will I repurchase it? I'm not entirely sure. However, if it like gets like as it dries, I think it might be better. It's very wet at the moment, obviously it's brand new, so I'm not sure. I think as it gets a little bit drier, like all mascaras do, they just get a little bit more like clumpier and a bit nicer on the lashes, and it just gives a bit more volume. So yeah, I really like it. It's really nice. I'm just not like 100% sure what all the hype's about, if I'm going to be completely honest. Next thing I'm going to go into is this MUA bronzer, and this is Bronzed Perfection Matte in Sunset Tan. There was like a shimmery one as well, but I don't know, I'm not really into shimmery bronzers to be honest, unless they're like satin finish. This is like a really cool toned bronzer, which I was a little bit intrigued by, to be honest. So I'm just going to go in with my Hoola brush by Benefit, and I'm just going to go to town and see what happens. I thought this would be like a really nice 2-in-1 bronze and kind of contour shade, just because it's like a really nice cool toned colour, and also the geometric pattern is really cute. I've got to say it's got a really nice undertone to it. It's not too orangey. I feel like I can still apply a lot of this without it looking too crazy. I think this was like £3, so that's not too bad. Yeah, it's actually really nice. It's blending really nicely on my skin. It's not too patchy. Yeah, I really like this. This is a nice bronzer. I also picked up this Soap & Glory Made You blush. Now, these blushes are like in your face. Like this was the least in your face colour, and it's like bright magenta pink, so I don't know how this is going to play with the eye look I've got going. The packaging is really cute on this. It was quite expensive. I think it was about £10, which for a blush I'd say is quite expensive. It's kind of got this gold shimmer. I don't know if you can kind of see it in the light there, like a really kind of, I don't know if it's going to be chunky glitter. I really hope not, because I hate glittery blushes. And it also comes with like a free brush on the bottom, but I won't be using that today. Oh my god, this could be a complete disaster. You can kind of see it peeking through here. It's not too glittery actually. It's not as glittery as I thought it was going to be, which is really nice. I don't actually have a new highlighter, which sucks. So I'm just going to go into this Sleek Makeup Solstice palette. This has been raved about a million times for this colour right here. So yeah, I'm just going to go into the yellow and the orange a little bit. Just kind of pop this on the high points of my cheekbones. I forget how lush this palette is. Like, oh, look at that. So finally I've got the lips to do, and then we are done. I've picked up this Revolution Retro Luxe Matte Lip Kit, Lip Contour Kit, Lip Pencil and Liquid Lipstick in the shade Echelon or Echelon. I'm not really too sure how to say that. But it just looked like a really nice sort of nudie brown, and I thought it would go really nicely with this kind of burnt orange kind of look we got going on. So I think basically they're trying to like rip off the Kylie lip kits a little bit. So you've got like a lip pencil here, and then you've got the liquid lipstick here. As you can see, it looks lighter than the brown on the packet. I did get it out to have a look, but I haven't put it on my lips yet. But yeah, I thought this would go really nicely with my eye look. So let's put it on. Let's try out this lip pencil. Again, when you take the lid off, very much like the Kylie lip kit, it's got that kind of creamy crayon sort of finish. So let's try this on. Ooh, it's very creamy. It smells like pure chemical, which is turning me off so much, but whatever. It smells like petrol. It literally smells like petrol. So I'm going to go in with this. I've got a nice doe foot applicator. It looks really nice and sort of wet, doesn't look too dry. So let's apply it and see. So the formulation of these and the colour, oh my god, I'm obsessed with the colour. The colour is absolutely gorgeous. I don't think it's the brown, like this is nothing like the brown. So I think if you're looking at the colours, I'd advise just taking it out of the package just to have a look at the tube, because I'd say this is like very on point with like the colour match. It looks like how it does on the lips, if that makes any sense. I love this colour. It's not completely dried down yet, but I have very dry lips today and it's not picking up too much on that. I really, really love this, and I think we're dry now, so yeah, no transfer whatsoever. I really, really like this colour. So that is it. I am obsessed with everything on my face right now. I really love this look. It's very sort of, I feel like I'm like pulling the biker vibes right now with a very smoky, sultry, burnt eye with this beautiful lip. The only products I'm going to be like, I'm not sure about is this. I definitely give this a miss. Now I'm thinking about it more. I just don't like it. I just think it wasn't as creamy, and it just, I don't know, it just wasn't very nice. I will play around with it a bit more, but on first impressions, I'm not totally impressed. This mascara, I'm not really sure what the hype is about. It's giving me some nice volume, but I'm not too sure why it's like the best mascara in the world, because it's not. I don't know. I've had some better mascaras, I'm not gonna lie. The standout products for me today, obviously, have got to be the MUA palette. This is incredible. I absolutely love it. I feel like the colour is insane. It's so buttery and creamy, and it blends out beautifully, and it's so affordable. So please, if you like these colours, go pick it up right now. I don't know what you're waiting for. Beautiful, beautiful pigmentation. Love it. And obviously, like you've just heard me say, I'm obsessed with this lip colour. I love the pigmentation of it. I love the formula. It just feels really nice, and it feels really lightweight on my lips. And yeah, I'm hoping it doesn't patch off or anything, but I have some high expectations for this. Lastly, I don't know how I feel about these Gosh foundation like drops and Foundation Plus drops. They were nice. Like, I preferred this one with the Seaweed Cover and Conceal Foundation Plus. This is very lightweight, and this would be nice if you're trying to do like a no makeup day. So I'm not like knocking this off and saying it's bad. It's just like not my favourite foundation, especially when it comes to like liquid foundations. But this one I was quite impressed with, and I will continue to use this because I actually really like it. I hope you have enjoyed this video. I hope you've kind of seen some products that you might like to pick up from the drugstore. They're all very affordable, and when you think about it, like, I've got a full face that I think looks quite high-end. Like, the lip definitely looks very much like the Jeffree Star liquid lipsticks. The eyeshadows look very much like Urban Decay, if I'm going to be completely honest. Like, the quality is really there. The highlight is really lush. I love the sleek palette. It's so beautiful. It looks really wet on my cheeks. I'm really happy with all the products that I've picked up today. So, of course, I will leave everything down below, as it always is, with the prices and the shades I got. There's not one thing that I wouldn't recommend apart from this. I think it was a bit, I'm not really too sure about that, but I love it. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video as much as I've enjoyed playing around with all this really great makeup. Please give me a massive thumbs up if you have, and if you've got any recommendations for like drugstore or high street affordable makeup, please pop that down in the comments below, because I'd love to try it out, and I believe you. If you say it's good, I'll believe you and I will buy it and I'll try it out, and maybe we can do these sorts of videos again. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye! So we're gonna go in with the benefit. So we're gonna go in with the benefit. Why? This is there's not a lot of talcum powder in this. Like, the first ingredient is talc, but aha! I got it. So I also went to